The belief that the Pope is the Antichrist has been a persistent view among various religious and ideological groups throughout history. This essay explores the origins, evolution, and reasons behind this controversial claim. The roots of the belief that the Pope is the Antichrist can be traced back to the Reformation era, when Protestant reformers such as Martin Luther and John Calvin challenged the authority of the Roman Catholic Church. Luther, in particular, identified the papal office with the Antichrist, based on his interpretation of biblical prophecies. This belief was fueled by the perceived corruption within the Church, its temporal power, and the Pope's title of Vicar of Christ, which some Protestants interpreted as a blasphemous assumption of Christ's authority. Central to the claim are various interpretations of the Bible, particularly the books of Daniel, 2 Thessalonians, and Revelation. These books contain apocalyptic imagery and prophecies that some interpret as referring to the papacy. For instance, the little horn in Daniel 7, which uproots 3 kings and speaks against the Most High, is seen by some as symbolic of the Pope. Similarly, in Revelation 13, the beast that rises out of the sea and is worshipped by the world is sometimes equated with the papal system. Anti-Catholic sentiment, particularly in predominantly Protestant countries, has contributed to the perpetuation of this belief. During the Reformation and subsequent centuries, fear and distrust of Catholicism were common, leading to the spread of literature, sermons, and teachings that portrayed the Pope as the Antichrist. This sentiment was further reinforced by political and social conflicts between Protestant and Catholic nations. In contemporary times, the belief that the Pope is the Antichrist is held by a minority of fringe religious groups and individuals. Mainstream Protestant denominations have largely moved away from this view, focusing instead on ecumenism and dialogue with the Catholic Church. However, the idea still persists in some evangelical and fundamentalist circles, often tied to broader conspiracy theories and apocalyptic expectations. Psychologically, the identification of a clear enemy or other helps to simplify complex religious and social dynamics. Sociologically, labeling the Pope as the Antichrist has historically served to unite certain groups against a common opponent, reinforcing group identity and cohesion. It also reflects broader patterns of scapegoating and the need to identify a singular source of perceived moral and spiritual corruption. The belief that the Pope is the Antichrist reflects a confluence of historical, theological, psychological, and sociological factors. While it has diminished in mainstream discourse, it remains a potent symbol within certain subcultures. Understanding this belief requires a nuanced examination of its origins, development, and the various motivations behind it. Whether viewed as a relic of religious conflict or a persistent element of apocalyptic thought, it continues to evoke strong reactions and merits careful study.